Well, hello, and welcome to this special bonus episode. I wanted to film this because we had some really big news this week. Yesterday, as I'm filming this on 11/11, we announced that we are operating as Rooted in Retail, not Crystal Media, and that we've had this brand evolution, and the news is out. And so far, it's been going so good. We've been getting really great emails and messages and comments about this change, and it's just been nothing but positive. So if that's been you, thank you. And I just wanted to do a special podcast episode to just take you through behind the scenes of this decision, because I do feel like there's some opportunities to share what I've learned and some strategic coaching, if you will, and then just what this looks like moving forward. Honestly, not a whole lot is changing. We do have a new mastermind that's coming, and I'm really excited about that. I've got new training content I'm going to be doing from stages in 2025, and I'll talk briefly about those things in this episode. But really, I just wanted to pull back the curtain and take you through this, because here's the deal. I started the Rooted in Retail podcast, this show, in March of 2023. And little did I know that in a year and a half later, I would change my company name. This show is the reason for us changing and morphing into the new brand. And that happened because we've just had some really great success with this show. I get the opportunity to go to different markets and conferences and see our retailers in person and see our listeners in person. And they tell me they listen, they love the show. And we've just built this brand around the show. And lately, actually for several months, I've been doing copy exercises and marketing exercises, as silly as that might sound. But I've been really wanting to get clear on our messaging and the vision of the company, and pulling together slides to present to my team of the vision I see and where we're going. And through all of that, as I was spending a lot of time just navigating, what do I see the future of my business, and what do I want to bring in, and what does that look like, and how are we communicating? And honestly, this is one of the reasons I wanted to do a podcast episode around this. The power of messaging. I'm just like blown away. And I know that this might sound obvious, or maybe it doesn't, but it's so critical to have the right messaging when it comes to your business and the campaigns you're doing and the sales that you do and the products you carry and all the things, like, and your brand. And when you don't have the right messaging, it will confuse people. It could confuse them. And my business crush, Don Miller, says, confuse, you lose. So we don't want to lose people. If you've got messaging that just doesn't really resonate with your perfect customers, then you could lose them because they're like, oh, I don't belong there. If you have to have the customer work hard at understanding what you do or what you sell, then you're going to lose them, because humans have a certain amount of information that we can store a day and answer, and things that we could process a day, and the energy that we use. And so when we make people work hard to understand what we do and why they should buy from us, then they move on, their brain moves on. So that's where we have to make it so easy, so simple. And this is something you can learn if you sell online, let's say. Well, you don't get that opportunity to really create this experience in store through customer service and relationship building and talking to them when they're online. So the power of your copy is so important, or the power of your captions on social is so important to get people to read and connect. And so I'm doing all this work, and I'm like, what does Crystal Media stand for? And then, okay, so then what does Rooted in Retail stand for? And then what does Evolve stand for? And I really was like, I want to simplify here. And I just one day was like, I think Rooted in Retail should be the brand. Rooted in Retail definitely speaks more to who we are and who we serve. I've been in the retail space since 2010 when I joined Snap Retail. Before that, I had retail clients at my first social media business called 3 Elements. I managed their social media. Before that, I've worked at several retail stores. I've done holiday markets in Bryant Park. I've done all sorts of stuff. Like, I am super rooted in retail. And I've talked about that over the show. And who we serve is retailers. And so it felt obvious, yeah, the brand should be rooted in retail. And that way, when retailers see Rooted in Retail, they say, oh, I think I belong here. because I'm a retailer. Tell me more. What do you do? And so that was a no-brainer for me as far as like that evolution. And the other thing, as I've mentioned before, if you've ever listened to my podcast, Crystal Uncorked, I started really my career in the social media world. Back in 2008, I started in social. That's really when social kind of all started. I've been in since the beginning. And I've talked on over 100 stages, thousands of retailers teaching them social media, and that has been an honor. And over time, my interests changed as I've been doing Rooted in Retail and talking to other retail pros and learning about other aspects of retail. I've found this curiosity inside and this excitement and this new energy for learning even more about retail and helping retailers in bigger ways, not just social media. Social is going to be in my DNA for sure. I could speak to that, I could coach on that. That's very easy for me. I just naturally really get it. But I wanted to help retailers in bigger ways because if you are doing your social media and you're great at it, but people come into your store and you have the wrong inventory or wrong pricing or bad salespeople or bad experience, you're going to lose them and they will never come back. And then what good is your social media? For me, I want to help retailers be resilient. That is what we want. We want to keep our retailers in business and so much more than just in business. We want them thriving. And I hate that word thriving. I feel like it's overused and we use it here at Rooted in Retail. But I want them to be thriving. I want them to be wildly successful and love their stores. And so that means that I need to help in more ways. And that doesn't mean I'm looking to become the expert in all aspects of retail. What I'm looking to do is pull together my pros and offer them and their services to my incredible retailers and find ways that I can support the retailers that really cater to my strengths and my interests. As I was looking at that, it's like, well, let's really pull together these pros and build something where retailers can have access to them and learn more. And that our podcast is obviously this amazing starting point. And then if you want to go deeper, this is where the Rooted in Retail network comes into play. And so I've been thinking about this idea of this network and having people that have been on the show be a part of the network and offer discounts to retailers, special offers, special education. What if we had access to these people? We could ask questions, strategize with them. And so that's where my mastermind, which is launching, the Root and Retail Mastermind launching in January, you'll have access to the network. But all of this wasn't falling under that Crystal Media brand. It was really rooted in retail. Crystal Media felt like a media company to me, and it felt like social media. That's what people knew us as in the industry, as Crystal Media or Crystal Vilkitis. It's the social media girl, lady, gal, person, company. And I really am on a mission to brand us outside of social media. I am here to help us be the company that builds resilient retailers and the place where resilient retailers hang out and they support each other and they share and they collaborate. And so I needed to move away from that Crystal Media brand, and I am keeping it. I see that brand being a company that produces meaningful content like podcasts and events down the road for different industries. I've got a podcast idea that's totally different than what I do today. Then maybe I'll launch that and have more of a 3 to 5 year vision of what I'll do with Crystal Media. But that's down the road. Right now, it's really focused on Rooted in Retail, building the show, building our retailers, and helping them still through our Done For You agency. So that is still here. The ads agency and Get Listed is still available and still booming. It's just through Rooted in Retail instead of Crystal Media. And then we have our insider membership, which I actually launched Crystal Media with back in 2012, and it was called Social Edge. Our membership was called Social Edge. And for a hot second there, I actually changed the name of the company from Crystal Media to Social Edge. And what happened was it was sort of a flop. And this is also another reason why I wanted to do a podcast episode around this, to share the behind the scenes of things, because we're all business owners here trying to figure this out. And it doesn't always work out how we thought it would. I think it was 2016, 2017, I changed to Social Edge. And when I did that, I would go to conferences and then people wouldn't really know how to describe me because they knew Crystal Media or Crystal, and Social Edge was just not sticking in their mind. So they would be like, okay, now welcome to the stage, Crystal. And I even had somebody who was like, and we want to thank our sponsors, Crystal. Didn't say my last name, didn't say Crystal Media, that you could tell they were confused. Like, now it's Social Edge, but what is it? And I'm like, oh man, this isn't resonating. Like, people aren't getting it. And I did that because Social Edge, our membership, was all about social media. And I just felt like social, we could call out to more people. It'd be more known what we do. It just didn't really work. And so I was like, okay, I've got a strong personal brand here. We're going to go back to Crystal Media. And it was like nobody realized anything happened. So we did. Now here I'm faced with this similar decision, right? And I changed the company name again. And I feel much better. This feels much different than before because we have such an established brand with Rooted in Retail. It has the word retailer, who we serve. And it's just thankfully a way better experience than the first time around. But I didn't let the first time, trust me, it was in my head. I'm like, you already tried to do this. Is it going to fail again? It's a lot of work to change to a new name and then change back. I've done it before. It's a lot of work. There was a lot of questioning and a little bit of nerves. When there's something that's like in your core that you just know this is what you're meant to do, that was me. And I had to listen to that voice. And so for the past couple months now, we've been working on this transition. And it's really nice to have it be out in the open and just really lean into being rooted in retail and taking, some might say that was a bold step to do. It was a big deal to change your company name, but it just is really right and exciting. And so I'm so excited, and really it happened because of this show. So thank you for listening and thank you for being here. And I'm just so excited for the future. So like I said, when we look at the future and these topics that I'll be personally doing more, and this is a personal update / professional, I enrolled in a certification program through Will Guidara's Unreasonable Hospitality, his book. I've talked about it on the show. People have mentioned his book on the show. I tried really hard to get him to speak at Evolve, and he was just out of our budget. And Donald Miller, who you know I love, had partnered with Will, and they offer an Unreasonable Hospitality certification, which gets me trained on the curriculum and allows me to teach my retailers how to provide incredible customer service and really integrate hospitality into your retail store, where hospitality is really how you make people feel. And that excites me. I've always loved the experience side of things. Zappos is known for their company culture, right? There's such a culture there and a way of doing business and really taking care of their customers. I loved their model so much that I applied to work there. I got an interview. I flew to Vegas. I did the interview. I didn't get the job. And thankfully, because I ended up starting my first company like 2 weeks after that interview. So that really worked out. But then when I joined Snap Retail, we did a tour of Zappos and got the full on like culture and all of that. And I was just like, gosh, I just love this company. They just really take care of their people. And I loved Tony Hsieh, rest in peace. Loved Tony Hsieh. We chatted a little on Twitter many years ago. And then Gary Vee, who I love, Gary Vaynerchuk, big in the social media world. But one of my favorite books of his is The Thank You Economy. And he talks all about customer service in there and really taking care of your people. And I am not kidding. I will hear stories about excellent customer service and I get choked up. I was driving just a couple weeks ago and I was listening to a podcast about this incredible company that just really took care of their customer and went above and beyond. And then I start crying in my car and I'm like, oh my God, you are ridiculous. And then as I'm going through this training for unreasonable hospitality, I'm getting totally choked up. And I'm like, am I going to cry on stages teaching people how to take care of their customers? Oh, I might. And that's just what it is. But that was an like full out, whoa, you really care about this. And you got to follow that feeling, follow the feeling. And it's actually something our therapist, Rhonda Renee on Retail Therapy, talks about is some people show emotions through crying. And that's how they express themselves. And you got to pay attention on how you show up. And for me, like I get emotionally charged through incredible customer service stories. And so I am so excited to teach retailers in this framework. There's the customer journey advantage map, and it's so cool. And I'm going to take our mastermind members through this customer journey. I'm going to be releasing some of this content on the Evolve stage. We're going to be talking about experiences and hospitality. And of course, I'll be sprinkling in social media because it's in my DNA. So I'm really excited to help retailers in this next kind of journey of Rooted in Retail and in this new way for me. And I think it's just going to be awesome. So I just wanted to take you through a little bit of just the importance of getting clear on your messaging and on your audience and listening to your audience and really getting clear where you want to go and how you want to help and making sure that's aligned with the brand and with you. And if it's not, don't be afraid to make the change. Don't be afraid to do something different and to do the thing that you want to do. I'm really excited about what we're doing and I can't wait for the future. And I'm really excited for you to be a part of it. You can find us on rootedinretail.com now. On social media, Rooted in Retail HQ on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to be having traveling HQs, headquarters, because we'll be filming in person more next year. I'm so excited for that. We're going to have more in-person meetups too with our mastermind members. It's going to be awesome. So follow us along. And then if you get our emails, make sure that you update. We are now info@rootedinretail.com. I'm Crystal at rootedinretail.com. So just make sure those things are updated on your end. Thank you so much for being here. From the bottom of my heart, means the world to have you listen. And if you have a retailer friend that should be tuning into the show, will you send them this show? We would love to have them be a part of our world and connect and listen, because I just want to build as many resilient retailers as I can. Thank you for being here. I'm rooting for your success. Have a great week ahead. Bye.